We're going to do our best to win this bad boy as well. Six-handed, final table. We're not chip leader, but we are bounty. The bounty daddy. Gonna fold here for this much of a shove and with a min bounty. There's not a ton of incentive to make this call right now. All right, down here, we min opened with our jack-9 suited. Pretty good board for us to go for a small c-bet. With both of these guys calling, I'm not going to barrel the turn. Had he folded, I mean, this guy's just looking like he's going to be quite active. I would have gone for the turn barrel, but here we're just going to check back. Hope to hit our 10. If not, give up. Mouth 3000 with a follow as well. Thank you, man. Yeah, we're still just giving up. It's been running for a while, like over half an hour. Schwoops. Real quick, we're all in over here with our queens, and we're 3-betting with the ace-jack. Go, go, power queens. Boom. All right. Making it a little bigger because we're deep and out of position, but this still isn't like a super large 3-bet by any means. And we'll just c-bet a third pot here. Well, we're set up to barrel. Let's hope we don't bust out on this one. But so if I bet 20, that would be, yeah, that would put 80 with 60 left behind. So we want to bet just slightly more. I think jamming for value on this river is actually not what we want to do, because I think any of his queen X can maybe find folds in smaller pairs. I don't want to check either, so we're just going to bet a small blocking bet. Subs, gifted subs, resubs, follows. I mean, it's been really nice. Yeah, all you got to do is click that link, and that automatically tracks it, Alstig. You just use that link to download, and then you can see it a little larger on this board texture here. That will be all the support I need, man. Thank you very much for considering doing that. I really appreciate that. If this was a queen of diamonds, I would probably consider overbetting here. I'm just gonna slow down against this guy. One, we saw that he didn't 3-bet the 10s in the small blind earlier, which shows me that he's actually capable of waking up with some like random strong hands here that I would discount from a lot of other people's range. But also, he seems like he's not a guy that's going to be wanting to fold in a lot of spots as well. So With those two things combined, I'm just not interested in trying to push a bunch of big bluffs against him. Like, that's a hand we could have got to fold, so that's kind of a bummer, but I think all in all, we're just going to really not try to do too much crazy stuff against him for now. Pocket kings again. Bet is for the week. I'm going to check. Reason being is, like, he's so short. Like, we check, it'll go check. He's going to jam a lot. Then we call, then he calls, and we just have built a bigger pot for us kind of naturally. And we kind of rep a weaker range here, so after we check. Oh, he bets. All right, we'll just go all in here. There's just so much money in the pot. Yeah, we just need to go in. Well, at least we get to win it all. I was hoping to get this. That's interesting that he decided to bet so large there, like almost half my stack, remaining stack, and then just find a fold. But we look insanely strong when we just call there, so I don't see much reason to not put the money in. All right, down here, this guy limped, I raised. He called. We check back the flop. We're going to call the turn, and very likely fold to a giant bet on the river. Could consider just jamming this river. Trying to rep a 6, I think, is a little optimistic. And I think if he has an ace or a queen, he's probably has to call at this point. So I don't think trying to bluff is the greatest. So now we just have to decide if we think we have enough bluffs on his part. Having the 2 10s is actually kind of bad for us because it blocks a lot of his things that he wants to be bluffing with on the turn. Nah, I'm just going to fold. Almost 5 a.m., man. You've been going ham. I don't want to be 3-betting this guy for some of the reasons we were talking about with one of the other hands, but I do think when we have hands that can make the nuts, we want to be playing pots against him when we're pretty deep here. And this is not our board, so we're just giving it up. Over here, 3-bet pot, we got the old ace queen of Ruski. Nice. Nice. And then there were 5. I don't really care about that guy getting busted. He was just getting in the way with his min bounty. All right, we'll call here, closing the action. Even though it's a 3x open on a pretty short stack. He's got a pretty sizable bounty, and we're going to be getting a good price by the time it comes around to us. Sweat the flip here. Shoot. 22 big blinds with pocket 9s. I think we're going to be always calling the shove. So down here, this guy 3-bet, and we folded our jack 10. And this guy folded, which is interesting to see. He opened 3x on 20 big blinds and then 21 big blinds and then folded. I think that's a pretty good shove on his part. I'll give him some props for that. You can see we took a hand as strong as Ace King from this guy and really made him consider folding. So there's going to be just a lot of hands like, you know, King Queen might even fold here, and if that's folding, then Queens, Jacks, you know, I mean, all those other things are just out of there. So I think gain some respect for this guy. Yeah, he's playing wide ranges and he's not really wanting to fold, but it looks like he's also willing to make some good bluffs. I was actually considering whether or not if this guy folded, if I was going to jam my sixes here or call or what. Obviously, when he shoves, it's just a easy fold. But I'm not quite sure what I would have done. Kind of gave up thinking about it once he jammed. Boom. Got pocket kings over here. I don't know much about this guy, and we're pretty deep, so I'm not going to go for a check raise here. We're just going to bet for value and protection. Is it really cold in Japan? You're just wearing... It's cold. I actually have my heater turned off as well to try to save some money and conserve some energy. So, yeah, it's pretty... I mean, it's not like freezing cold, but it's cold. We can still get this. Queen. Bummer. I mean, at his stack size, we can never fold here. That's unfortunate. We're now the... Well, we still got... We're not the shortest stack. I just imagine you just spitting out a whole glass of water all over the place. I guess I'll call here. Oh, it's off flop. Hang on. We got big hands everywhere. Here we got the old aces and our get 3-bet. And we're going to 4-bet here. We're calling. Here we're going bet. Check back the flop and we just got it. Oh man, I guess we don't have like the greatest size. Alright, we'll just call. If I was deeper, I needed the 4-bet, but... Ooh. Here, we're 3-betting. I'm gonna jam here. We're repping like all the overpairs. We gotta, now that we have the flush draw, I think we just need to jam. Also, the fact that he considered folding like ace king in that one spot against this guy makes me think that he's probably capable of folding some hands that maybe other guys wouldn't, which is a pretty good sign for us as well. Actually, against this guy, I just want to see a bit larger. To hopefully put up on YouTube, so we got to shut down the music so we don't have any copyright issues and things like that. Yeah, I'm happy to bet this flop. Not the best turn for us to barrel. I'm just going to check and try to realize our equity. We realize our equity into the net straight. Any block bets, which is a sign that I get to just bet pretty huge. He folds. Nah, I liked your joke, man. It was a good joke. Here, we'll limp call if he jams. We'll limp jam if he raises small. At about 20 big blinds, I think this is a pretty good strategy. Also a pretty good indicator that he might just be getting out of line. When we saw him open 3x earlier with 20 big blinds and fold 2 re-raise, kind of got a feeling that he might just be doing some silly stuff. Ace 5, I'm gonna fold, I think. Danny Lutz with the follow and 3-bet 9,000 with the follow. Thank you guys, I appreciate that. I'm just not going to be setting up the fire on this board. We're just having to give up. However, when he checks to us twice, all right, we're going to start firing now. We can actually rep king queen, which would be an overbet. I'm not going to try to just rep king queen here, but we're going to bet, and we're going to bet the river. Maximum amount for Visas is 100 and via instant banking. They do allow Bitcoin though now. I guess some countries might not have it, but Bitcoin is now available on GG Poker. Do you not see that option for you? And I'm just going to pot here on the river with 2 pair. Actually, went overbet. I think a jack has to call here. We're going to go for check raise on this flop. Come on! No! Not how we wanted to do this! Nope. That's a beautiful turn. Yeah, we're just going to start betting and hope that he can find calls. I will. So if we bet 5, that'll put 20. And then we can just overbet jam the river. That seems reasonable. He's check raising. Let's just get it in now. Oh, he flopped straight. Beautiful. That is not in our favor. 1 cent, 2 cent, and 2 cent, 5 cent. That's a good way to start, man. Winning a $25 giveaway would be a good boost to that bankroll, I'm assuming. We need some luck to go our way though to start winning this tournament. That's for sure. We're all in down here with pocket queens. This guy just shoved, raised, 3-bet shove. Queens is strong enough to not fold. Not an ace this time. We got him. On the other table, we didn't make our straight, and we also didn't bluff. He had the old Jack 10, so we were actually calling for the split. And didn't get that either. Real quick over here. Flop top 2 pair. Calling just because we have this guy in. Hopefully maybe we can get a check raise. And even if not, I mean, he's got basically a pot size bet left, so we can try to get it in on the turn if he folds. What's the play here? Jam or bet small? I'm actually going to go with small bet when I block a lot of the pairs and stuff that he can call with. Thank you, sir. I'll take it. We're first in this one. We're first. If you win and if I win the giveaway, you promise you'll buy a hat? I'm going to hold you to it, man. I better see pictures of you in a brand new hat. Receipt by your face. Just kidding. You can do whatever you want with it. Jeez. Yeah, we're going to check call 1 still, though. But, jeez. Just trying to get the showdown here. Okay, we're folding now. All right. King Jack's a reasonable reshove here. No, come on, come on, come on. Please. Yes. Yes. Just gotta say please. Yeah, it's an open and straight draw. I'll take it. Got to see that for free. We'll start betting if he checks to us again. Might even raise here if he bets something smallish. He checks, and we are for sure betting. Trying to come up with a good size. I think we want to bet a size that could be 9x betting, which I would certainly be betting here. Could also be some of our 7x in our range. And then bluffs and stuff. But a pretty loose, aggressive style. I think that could work down there, as long as you're kind of aware of ranges and things like that. If it's not good, it's not good into play. That could set you up for some downfalls later on, but I mean, it might. It'll give you a good starting point. I mean, it'll make you develop some pretty tight, pretty aggressive ranges and things like that in that kind of a mindset. But I mean, definitely a well-balanced player is going to be doing a lot of calling in a lot of different spots. So, and the ranges are going to get much wider than probably what you might be used to. But I think it'll give you a good starting point for sure. This guy's been 3-betting quite a bit versus his opens. Oh God. We're going for check raise on this board. A lot of draws out there. We don't block the top pair. I think we do want to check raise here. Second time I've done it too. Folds. Please, and now win. All right, guys, we're doing it for you. We're doing it for the stream. I believe in the stream. Just gonna bet small here and barrel on a spade turn, and probably give up on most other turns. This is the standard HUD in hand to note. It is not. I paid for this one. I bought it from GT Pro HUD or Pro GT HUD. So the bottom link, Pro GT Pack. If you go to those guys, you can see all the different packs that they offer. Gonna check. If he checks back, we'll bet the turn. He does check back. And we're going for the turn bet. After we've been going for so many check raises and stuff like that, I think there's we have an image of just like slow playing a bunch on the flop and maybe pre-flop, so he might just be done betting. Whew, got the shivers a little bit. Is limping always a bad thing? No, there's definitely times to limp for sure. Especially at the smaller stakes when people aren't developing aggressive 3-bet strategies and things like that. You're going to be able to see a lot more flops with a lot wider ranges, and that's pretty good. So there's certainly opportunities where limping is going to be good for you. Gonna check fold this so quick. I don't know. I might consider calling, but he does have a tendency to make larger bet sizes, and I don't think we need to put this into the call range here. It's a nice turn. Matthew MRM with the follow, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. We're going to check raise here. Shoot. Got there. Got there on the turn-offs. The 888 poker HUD is so awful. Are you just using the default HUD? The default HUD should be just pretty simple if you're using hand to note. Real quick, we got it all in the big 22. We were getting pretty short stacked. Ace 5 versus King 6, and the King 6 crushed us. We had like 8 big blinds, somewhere around there. So that one didn't work out. All right, back down here to the main event. I think HUDs are certainly worth it if you're using them correctly and understand, what it is that you're looking at and how to adjust based on, different things that you're seeing. HUDs with EV odds. You should probably get pretty good at doing it on your own, but I think let's fold here. If it's, a lot of people use it when it shows you the odds that you're getting and what percent you need to win to break even, stuff like that. It helps for a lot of people. It's definitely something that'd be nice to have. I'm gonna have to turn my heater on. It's getting too cold in here. Do that on the next break. We'll get everything fired up. I think the sun went down outside, so everything's chilling off pretty quickly. Just gonna bet this flop for protection here. Hey, Queen B, how you doing? Yeah, we snuck ourselves into a final table here We're doing it. All right, we'll just check it down, try to get shut down. We'll call a small bet on the river here. Maybe even a big bet. If not, we'll just check it down. Ripper DK with the follow, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Is it worth playing the Poker School League tournaments on PokerStars? Yeah, I actually used them when I started on PokerStars with a very small bankroll, and I went through the Poker School just to get the free tickets and all that stuff. And it's good for building your bankroll for sure. I mean, anytime you can get free money, I would, take advantage of it. The only reason I don't do any free rolls and stuff like that now is just because I've got so many other tournaments taking place that the distraction actually isn't worth it to play in those. Right here, I think we're just going to bet turn, bet river on this ace. Was giving up on the flop. It just wasn't like I don't know. We don't really have much to connect with this. So I was just going to shut it down. He goes for the check raise and finally fold. Good check raise on his part because, I mean, he's got to assume that some of my gives up the check back are going to bluff. And if he has a strong hand, also all my aces are going to value bet there. So, I mean, he needs to check raise with some bluffs and then some value hands for sure. Speaking of that, we should have this green because we're in the money. Forgot my own green felt hype motto. Got pocket kings over here. Want a small pot? I'll take it. Back over here. Is ace-10 off worth pre-flop raising? That's going to depend on your position a little bit. I do think there are a lot of positions that it's going to be profitable to have ace-10 offsuit in your pre-flop raising range. 9-handed table, depending on stack size and stuff under the gun, I might actually fold ace-10 off. Maybe under the gun +1, I might fold ace-10 off, but yeah, you just got to look at your position. You got to look at the stack sizes. How people are playing after you. You got to take in a lot of things into consideration when you're trying to decide on what your range is going to be. I'd actually probably consider check raising him here if I had like the Jack of Hearts to go along with this. I think we can just chip fold and be fine with it. Shade's still in here lurking. Man, he's repping like a flop straight or something. I don't know if a 9 is betting this size. I guess Jack 9 is possible. 9-5. But I think we're going to call again still. I don't think we need to make a hero call with the 6 there in that spot. Just don't think we need to do it. I jam my 5s there with 7 big blinds. Got it through. It is a little curious because it's like the first time we didn't check raise him, so maybe he realizes, maybe he just thinks that we're super capped there. So we might have to make some hero calls in that spot, but I don't think that we need to go as wide as King 6. Just gotta see bet this board. With him calling with a guy left to act, we're just gonna shut down on the turn. Any non-heart turn. Giving it up. Yep, you make your best 5-card hand. So however you make those 5-card hands, it could be 1 card in your hand and then 4 on the board, or it could be all 5 cards on the board. Each player makes the best 5-card hand. But I'm not sure how you won on that board with Ace 10 versus Ace. Like, it should have split the pot. Because you guys should have each had 2 pair aces, 2 pair 4s, and then the king kicker. So you guys probably should have split it in half. Real quick up here. We got the ace on the river when we made our flush, and we're going for check raise just because it's a card that he can bluff a lot and value bet. He checked back the turn. We're going all in here. Nice. And we check called on the king turn here, and then he checked back the river, which is nice for us. $250 added to the bankroll just like that. We'll just check to him. Try to get the showdown here. We'll call, turn, bet. Might even call a river bet. And we don't block any of like the queen 10s and stuff like that. I think he's aggressive enough where he could have some bluffs. I don't know how wide he's value betting his like things other than jack. So he had a 3. Like there he's repping like a 3 or better. I kind of expected him to bet the 3 on the flop, which is one of the reasons why we made the call on the river, because I mean he's repping, I don't know what I said there. He's repping a pair of jacks or better. I didn't mean to say 3 or better. And probably not even all the weakest jacks bet that sizing. But with as much as I've been check raising and stuff, I kind of didn't expect to see a 3 show up there on the river. So I was a little surprised by that. We got all in here in the in a $44 PKO. Under 10 big blinds. Let's hope. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna win this one. So we're out of that one. That's unfortunate. Up here, we've got the ace queen. We 3-bet, c-bet a third pot. He check called. Gonna have to c-bet bigger if we want to play for stacks. Just gotta hope that he's got something that can call with. I'm gonna go half pot and then go for the overbet on the river. Nice. Limp pot, we flop 2 pair. Going for our special check raise against this guy. I mean, the only reason I'm not, I still think we're ahead a lot. But I also think if we jam there, he just folds a bunch of the stuff that we're ahead of. So I was actually checking to give him a chance to bluff and go for a check call. And we'll do the same thing on the river. The other option would be to block bet small. But, I mean, this guy's just he's super active and just, I feel like he is capable of finding a lot of bluffs where maybe some other people might not. Here we're making a thin overbet jam for value. This guy's telling me to hit the check button. I decided not to. Well, I kind of didn't really expect that to be in a range, but makes sense. That was kind of the worst case scenario. I still think the value bet's fine in a situation where he should be pretty darn capped the way the hand played out, and I think we've got a pretty strong hand. Oh, yeah. Lear, it's because it was the 7. The 10 kicker played in that case. In the first one you typed out, there was a king. There was a king on the board and not a 7. That makes it a big difference. Oh, you already saw that. You already said that. Okay. So you're picking up what we're putting down here. Probably shouldn't have checked back this flop. This coldness is getting to me. It's like watching fencing. It just it's a tough battle. Dear God, we're going for check call all the way down here on this one. All right, I'm just going to bet. I think when he checks back this flop, he's got to have something with showdown value. And he might not bet for us. Real quick, we're all in up here with ace queen versus king queen, it looks like. Please don't do it, please. All right, we got that double, much needed. We were last place in chips, literally. I'm gonna check fold on his turn. He's trying to think here. Yeah, I think we still just check. He's been on the river, I think, checking back quite a bit, unless he's been barreling. I think the only time we've seen him bet the river is when he was barreled to turn. So if that's the case, I think we can just check and try to get the showdown. I don't think our hand's strong enough to go for a block bet. So I would check, and depending on the sizing, consider whether I wanted to call or fold. Probably doing a lot of folding, actually. Okay, we're going to go for a squeeze here. With the king blocker. And the fact that this guy's just got super wide ranges. We're all in. That was like the perfect flop for that situation. 3-betting again here. Oh, we got you got a fellow naked ear. We're all in up here. Look at that. Look at us chipping up. Thirsty Killa with the follow. Thank you, man. And Dopey20 with the follow as well. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Raising the Jack 10 suited there for value. And we're just going to bet this one out here with our get shot. Or double gutter. I'm just gonna keep betting here. I mean, yeah, you can have some 9s, you can have some 7s, but you can also just have some floats and a bunch of other stuff that we can get to full with our 6 high. And we're gonna have some equity if we get called. We got 0.5% showdown equity here for the times that he has ace high. Decides to just check it back. once he calls a turn, especially when we're betting so large, I mean, his range is just quite a bit more weighted towards something that has some strength and some showdown value. I don't think I want to bluff the turn. Even if I hadn't hit my pair on the river, I was giving up there. I was hearing about the Winter Series the other day. I'm going to try to play as many as I can, but with my schedule, it's going to be tough, right? Because most of those run usually at like 4 a.m. my time, 3 a.m. my time, stuff like that. Just fold here on them, this stack says. Can you tell me, I mean, how do you stream one part of your monitor? Ray, the best thing to do is to go to Google and just Google like working with OBS or setting up OBS for streaming on Twitch or something like that. There's a lot of content out there. It would take me, I mean, the videos out there are all like 10 minutes plus long. So it would take me at least that long to kind of explain it to you and show you all the setup and stuff. So I would get out there and check out what the YouTube has to offer you, man. You're gonna find also people that are a lot more knowledgeable and more capable at getting it done than me. But also I did get all my design and everything was set up for me by one of the viewers of the stream, Skolzy, who's a professional designer and stuff like that. So it was a little bit easier for me to get things done as well. Exclamation design in the chat if you want his information. Zip it 1991 with a follow. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. This is a pretty good board for us when he limp calls. And we get check raised again, and it's pretty easy fold. JV87TB. Thank you for that follow, man. I appreciate that. And we'll go for limp jam here. He's been checking back a lot, so maybe we need to start open raising and not trying to limp so much. I sure do. Did I say something about the percent of the time? That time I just made up a number. I mean, there are ways that you can try to guess those things and stuff like that, but I was just saying, like, there are some hands that might check down on that river when we made our pair that we can actually win against some small fraction of the time. I wasn't really like giving like a serious number there. A little bit. I'm getting close enough to be able to jam this against this guy's open. I mean, these guys are both playing pretty aggressive on the button. I'll fold to a jam here with the ace-3 offsuit. This board, I think, is actually, when he's calling in a small line here, I feel like this board is a little bit better for my range in general than his. And plus we have the gut shot to go along with it. So we're going for a bet. He check raises. Now we're kind of in a tough spot. I guess I just fold. It'd be sad. Now we're getting kind of toward the danger zone here, guys. Just trying to get the showdown here. We're getting short. We're getting dangerously short. Given that we have position, I don't think we have to raise here with this hand. I want to start betting for value. There it is. Went from dangerously short to being right back in it. Let's go. Jam, jam, jam. Jam the 7-4. I don't know about that. He's going to call here, actually. He hasn't been 3-betting really all that often. This hand has got some pretty good equity against whatever he's opening the button with. Yeah, when he checks back this flop, I mean, I think he should be checking back a pretty strong range and not just like a bunch of give-ups. So I'm not going to be running the bluff here. If this was a spade, I don't know, like a 4 spades or something like that, then we would set it up just because we have the extra equity there. But here we're just giving up. And he had ace-3. So maybe we could have got that to fold. But I think we would have to get it to fold over 2 barrels. And I'm not going to be able to 2-barrel twice there, which is part of the reason why we didn't go for that. Yeah, we'll just go for a small c-bet here and pretty happily fold if he decides to jam. Showdown value. I could go for another small bet against like maybe some of his 2-overs that are calling hands like King Jack and stuff like that, or King 10, Ace X type stuff as well. Or I could check back and actually have to call some bets on the river. I'm going to stick with the kind of small bet strategy. Protecting against those overcard type hands like I was saying. Is that B-Hell? Am I getting that right? Thank you for that follow. I appreciate that, man. All right. Well, he currently has a chip lead, and he's starting to get shorter stacked. I think we're going to have to play kind of tight out of when we're going to be out of position against him. Just checking back this flop. We got that double. Oh, that's an unfortunate river. I'm just going to check here. I do think we're ahead of a lot of these guys' range right now, but I'm also not exactly sure on what's calling. Like, if he has overpairs to the 8 that can call, he probably would have 3-bet pre-flop, similar for him as well. And we also have an ace blocker to some of those things as well. So, just a river that just killed all of our action. Well, you know, who's got that chip lead? Nick Banks, 312 with a follow, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Not going to call with the pocket twos here. It's probably a plus EV call against someone who's jamming like an appropriate range here, but this guy's just been so tight as far as 3-bets from the big blind. Maybe he's widening up because he's getting short stack now. That could certainly be a thing, but I don't know. I'm just going to go with the history that we've had so far. I mean, he hasn't 3-bet me once yet that I can remember, and he's been doing a lot of check raises on the flop, but I don't know. I think we can find a little bit better spots currently, rather than calling with the twos there. Probably going to see an overbet jam here, or check back. I'm going to fold on this one. It's kind of unfortunate because there are like there's a ton of draws that missed and we don't really block any of them. But that 6 is actually kind of good for our range. We're going to have a reasonable number of hands like 5-6, 6-4s, some hands like 7-8 that have the flush draws. You know, I mean, we're going to have actually a lot of hands that can make some reasonable things here. And I don't know. It still might be a little too tight to fold that there against this guy. But there is also some benefit into preserving my stack size at a little bit bigger size. And, you know, maybe choose a little bit better spot. The other thing that I was thinking about was the fact that we have seen him bluff, you know, with a 1-street barrel and with a big bet in a lot of spots where we think is a little bit, he maybe shouldn't be bluffing, but we haven't really seen a lot of 3 barrels out of him. Twice, I think, is the whole time we've seen 2. So that's another thing that I was considering. C, and then a bunch of numbers with the follow, man. Thank you, C bunch of numbers. I appreciate that. We're all in over here in the big 11. I will say that if you want to go from like a purely minimum defense frequency standpoint with that Jack 9, we're probably supposed to call there. If you're just looking at you know, just trying to hit those minimum defense numbers, but I think we can play a little bit more exploitatively than that and be okay. Over here, we are getting really close to the bubble, but we've got a hand that's too strong for me to fold. Yeah, I'll get a walk, I guess. Setting up to look just like the last one. I'll just fold the turn here. A few bets. I'm actually going to go for the check. Yeah. He might try to bluff this when I check here. Looking like, because it looks like I can have some 2x, maybe some ace highs, some jack x. Actually, don't think we check jam here. I think he's pretty darn polarized at this bet sizing. So we're just going to call. So yeah, I think when I checked there, we could give him a chance to fire out a bluff, and we did, and it worked out, and we're happy. Let's get to showdown. We'll just check back here. Get to showdown round 2. Call me with that king high. Hashtag, what's your name? My name is Shane, man. Shane Ball. I'm gonna bet out like a blocking bet and then jam over a raise. He just calls. Almost want to just jam this myself. I actually think I'm going to. I think he's reasonably capped here, unless he has like 8-9 specifically. It's a good overbet spot. His queens at slow play, and we get the straight on the river, yes! Super lucky there. That's all it takes, is just getting really, really lucky. So this is what the default HUD looks like for hand to note. I don't have a heads up HUD set up right now, but the default's pretty simple, guys. So if you have hand to note, and you actually get a lot of information from it for sure. If I click here, you still get your pop-ups. All the numbers went away because it's going to just heads up numbers only. I have it set up to switch when that happens. So we just have to play off our reads. I'm gonna check raise here. Doesn't need to be all that big. But when he was in a small blind, he would limp and then donk like 100% of the time, and I kind of found that it was with a pretty wide range. We blocked the Jack-10. We blocked some of the flushes. I think we just got to turn our hand into a bluff here. See what he does when we let. He lets us flop up here. Dopey likes the check call. Yeah, I think that was our best line there. Betting for protection here. I'm really surprised he showed up with queens there. That's just astounding. Oop, I wasn't trying to slow roll him here. I was trying to check out the chat. We got the ace. Let's go. Let's hold. Not the river we wanted. Shoot. Back to the drawing board. He's checked raised us like pretty high frequency when we've done this 1/3 c-bet. So we're going to do that. I mean, we're going to do it anyways, regardless of what his tendencies have been. It's just a good line. And I don't want to go quite 1/3. I'm going to try to play for stacks here for sure. And we'll just jam the river. Yeah, pretty lucky there, right? Got him. All right. Betting for some protection. And we got the awesome host from Scrimmitzu. Hopefully I'm a little embarrassed. I don't even know how to say the name correctly, man. But thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I wanted over right here. I got distracted by all the stuff going on currently. Thank you very much for the host. I really appreciate that. And sorry, Michael May. Hopefully I'm saying that right. For some reason, Nightbot considered that when you put the dots in their spam, but thank you very much for that. Good morning to you, buddy. Actually, good night to you, man. It's pretty late here, my time. Let's jam. Oh, he was trapping me. Can we get lucky this time? This guy. I can't let him come back and win it. And not Jason, I swear. Thank you for that follow, man. I really appreciate that. All right, we can bet some turns here, so we're going to bet the flop. And he does check raises this time. You're actually supposed to have a really high frequency check raise against third pot c-bets. So he's doing it right. He's check raising a lot, which is good. For him, not for us. I think we want a bit bigger on this one. Barty Squad and GT Silvano. Thank you guys for those follows. I appreciate that. With the gut shot, it's kind of a reasonable board for us to donk out. I'm actually just going to give up here. First time I stream Insta-followed. Awesome, man. Thank you very much. Crush the scrubs. I'm going to do my best. I don't think we get to rep. I'm out of time. I don't think we get to rep the king very often here, and I don't think we get to rep the flush either when we check and give up on his turn. So I think I just give it up. Fatty Hagen with the follow, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. We're on the bubble in the $22 deep stacks tournament. We're in the money in a big 11, and we flopped the nuts in this bounty builder. Let me show this real quick here. Yeah, thank you again, man. I really appreciate that, host. It's very nice of you. Hopefully your session went well, dude. My chip lead's fading away. Spade-a-doo. Not this time, unfortunately. Well, we tried. We're back down here. Man, that's so unfortunate. Ace Queen, he wins that flip, and then I think our jam with the Ace 4 suit was reasonable, but he had to show up with Ace King there. It's kind of a bummer. I'm gonna check raise the flop here. I think there's a lot of stuff that he's limping with. It's just garbage. Plus we got a bunch of backdoors. 8, 9, queen, ace. So we're just gonna put in a small check raise. That's not the one. Plus also, I do think that we have some fold equity on the flop when we're check raising there. So that's another reason we're check raising, right? I could overbet and try to rep like king 4. 7-4 or something. I'm just giving up. I want to get showdown and see like what he's showing up with here. And our chip lead is gone. TV TV totally win. Thank you for the follow. And Fatty Hagen, did I give you a shout out? I'm drawing a blank here, but if I missed you, man, I apologize. But thank you for the follow. What's up, Ghost of M? How you doing, man? Yeah, I'm using hand to note, man. It's oh, Ghost of M got it. I think there's quite a bit of draws here and certainly some bluffs. If he jams the river, I guess I'm gonna find a fold. We look like we have a 9 here. Against this side, I'm gonna call. And he has a 7. It's not going the right way, guys. Jay the only way, or Jay the only way with a follow, and Car Crew 2 with a follow as well. Thank you, guys. Could consider just jamming here. Could do this too. Betting like half pot here kind of puts me in like an awkward stack size situation. If he just calls, we could have considered over betting. I'm gonna just go for the check raise. This is a pretty good hand. We got 2 overs. God, how does he have the queen? And we had the backdoor flush draws. Oh, we get the runner backdoor flush draw. Jesus. If I put this up on YouTube, I'm just imagining the comments now. Run better, fish. But I mean, so here's the thing: is he's going to have some Jack X there and some other pairs. Some of the times, the smaller pairs are going to bet and then fold to the jam. But a lot of his Jack X, we're going to have the 2 overs and the backdoor flush draw against. So when those call, I mean, we're not totally dead. We're going to have equity. But betting there and getting the fold right away, and also being the one to put in the last bet, I think has a lot of advantages for us. You know, if we bet and he jams, then we're just in a really gross spot. If we bet and he calls and he has position, we're kind of in a really gross spot on a lot of turns. You know, so you can see, like, I think going for the check raise there seems pretty reasonable. And we get super lucky. It's really bummed when I saw you had Queen Jack. Like, that's the worst Jack that he could have for us. We made the money in the $22 deep stacks tournament as well. I'm gonna go for a check raise here. Let me get a screenshot. Is it still? There's still, yep. There's still a structured. There's still some payouts. So if you hit exclamation payouts, you can check that out. There they are. That is a pair. Betting for some protection here. Yeah, I'm just gonna check. I'm just gonna try to get the showdown here. Actually, don't imagine many nines in his range. Maybe a hand like 6-9 might just check. Maybe ace-9. We're gonna actually do a small block bet for value and protection. It's small. It's as small as I can do. Real quick over here, we're all in. Nice deserve. Yeah, we got super lucky. So lucky. I'll take it though. Sly Low with the follow, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Over here, we check back flop, check back turn, call river. How did I double? I check raised 2 overs and a backdoor flush draw on a jack high board. He called with queen jack, blocking one of my overs, and I runner to flush. Like just a complete boss. Betting for some protection here. No. So he just started raising. It's a new development. Okay, when we have the queen here, and there's already a bunch of the overs on the board, I don't actually think we need any protection, or as much on this board texture. Obviously, we still need some, but I'm just going to check it back and try to get the showdown here. Faded the 6 outs. Raise our value here. Like the music. Yeah, we do run music a lot. Most of the time we actually run music. But when we're deep in tournaments, we shut the music down so that we can record, hopefully try to get it up on YouTube. But I'm glad you like it. Some people really just hate it. Bet here for value. Could also check back this one as well. I think it's strong enough though that we want to bet for value. Can we runner the flush again? So we're getting almost 3-1 now. We need like a little over 4-1 to get the right price. So with the money left behind, we're going to be getting quite about that. Plus, I mean, we're ahead some of the time, actually. I don't actually think very often against this guy, but we are ahead sometimes. And we can get a check on the river and try to win that way. Derniz or DVB and MXDL1 with the follow. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Yeah, Dynamo's playing pretty well. I'll definitely give him credit. Diamond Latvia with the follow. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Real quick up here. Nice. Oh, we got knocked out of this tournament, by the way. But that was the $22 deep stack one. I think he ran pretty good in like 2 pots in a row to get not knocked out of the tournament. And then since then, I ran pretty good in a couple spots to keep me in the tournament. But I don't really see, like, I'm not trying to take away from him because I actually think he's playing pretty well. I think he's been playing well like the entire final table. But I can't really come up with any spots that I could have played better to, like, stop his accumulation of chips, I guess is what I'm saying. If you guys can come up with some spots, let me know. Got the host followed by the raid. Thank you. I appreciate that. What's the difference between the raid? I actually haven't used the feature. Like, what is... Please hold. All right, we're right back in it. See, we can always just get super lucky. That's all we need. I'm not going to turn my hand into a bluff here. Oh. We were betting for protection on the flop. When he snap calls, I mean, I could consider bluffing here, but I think I'd rather just not. So he can have queen 10 here for sure. He can have flushes for sure. I still think we make a small raise and fold to a jam. Against that size of bet. What the heck just happened? My monitor shut down for a second. That freaked me out. I am Neo, Twit Marcus, and Matt's Monty with the follows. Thank you guys. I really appreciate that. Good to hear you had a good day. 2-7. I have no idea how to play that game. We could check raise here, or we can donk with the 2 overs. Backdoor flush draw. We can even check call with the king high, actually being ahead some of the time. I think all of our options are pretty good. Let's start with a check call. With the plan to check raise on any improved equity on turns. If he bets the turn again, we're going to call again. I actually think we have some showdown value here with the king. And I think a king or a 9 is going to be good for us some of the time as well. Maybe not as often when he's betting so large on the turn, but... yeah, we'll just fold here. We have a lot better hands in our range that we can make the call down with. Ah, so they're actually viewing the stream? Okay, that's pretty cool. Some of the viewers opt out of the rating. I'm actually going to bet again for value here with my 9. And check back the river. Raise pre-flop more on button, especially every other bad hand, never fold button. I don't know if we want that to be our strategy. Like, I don't think we need to have like 100% opening range. I mean, you guys can see that I'm opening a pretty wide button range, probably somewhere around like close to 80%. And I think against a good, I mean, if I didn't think he was a good player, I would be pushing it towards 100%. But that's actually giving credit to him. Like, I actually think he's a strong player, and I don't think he's going to let us get away with opening 100% of the button. Just betting a bet size that could be kind of anything. Could be a 9, could be a 7, could be a 5. Could be bluffs. We're going to overbet here. We're ripping exactly a 9. I don't think he has many when he doesn't see bet that flop, so I think we just got to take advantage of the situation. We're all in over here. All right, we're back over here. Yeah, all right. Sticking with our 1/3 strategy. He's been check raising me so much here. We're actually gonna re-raising with our top pair. And if he jams, we'll call. But this actually hurts the equity that he can have with all of his draws. Some of his other like smaller pairs that might be check raising just because I'm betting small with other bluffs, things like that. I just busted bounty 11 Jack Jack for Ace King. That sucks, man. But now that you're watching this stream, you're going to start running better. You'll see it. Over time, you'll just notice, holy crap, I'm winning all these flips. It's because you're in the stream with me. But that sucks, man. If this was suited, I would probably put this into my jamming range. Offsuit, I don't really think. I mean, we are getting actually a pretty good price, but I don't quite think we need to call there. It does seem like he's upping his 3-bet a little bit. So we might need to adjust over time, but over the whole course of this tournament, I mean, his 3-bet has just been very, very low. Did I give you guys all shout outs? Markowski955. I don't remember shouting you out, man. I apologize. Avigable and Grow or Go. Thank you guys for those follows. Oh, and I think Michael May, you were saying when you said never fold button, you were probably implying that I should be limping more buttons instead of folding them. That might actually be a good strategy. I wasn't even considering that. I think if that's what you're saying, that might be something that I could work on. Lamprosa with the follow as well. Thank you. All right, thanks for updating that CPAS. Finally, I flop a top pair. I'm gonna overbet here. When he checks back this board, this is like a board texture that I'm gonna want to overbet with a lot of bluffs that might have been trying to go for check raises on the flop. My 9-10s, my hearts, my 5-6s, 6-9s, things like that. And he's kind of got a capped range, so we'll be actually including more bluffs there when it gets checked back. We have that ace high. I think it's just good enough to overbet the turn for value. Nice bet to rip the 9. Yeah, I think that worked out for us, obviously, when he folded. Limp with the good hand, raise with the rags. Again, we got to give this guy some credit, right? If I do things that are like super exploitable like that, that is going to really open me up for just giving up with a 10-5 here. That's going to really open me up to for him to punish me in a lot of different spots. All right, I'm gonna have to bet here. We're just gonna go for a small bet. That could be a jack, could be like some pairs, smaller. Basically, we're trying to get like queen highs to fold, king highs. I don't know. Stuff about that range. Oh, thank God it auto-checked me because I timed out. Real quick, we're all in here. Just gonna see bet third pot here. Oh, don't do it to me. So lucky. Just gonna keep betting for value over here. Two ticks. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Thank you for that follow. Appreciate that. And Showshab20 with the follow as well. Thank you. Better believe we're overbetting again. Nah, is that the right size? Actually, I like a block bet a little bit better. We have a lot of hands like 9x, 6x, weak queens and stuff that want to make a block bet there, and I think occasionally putting in a two-pair hand that's definitely strong enough to overbet, I think, on that run out into the block betting range, I think is pretty good for us. Plus, he's been folding a lot to our overbets, so I went with that instead. Three. Let's see what he called us with, by the way. I didn't even see it. So we had queen. Andre Asguy, thank you for that follow. I appreciate that. Hopefully I'm pronouncing the name right. For beginner and MTTs, which limits would you recommend to start with? I recommend you start, right, consider your financial situation. If you have a ton of money, it's perfectly okay to start out higher. You're just going to expect to, lose more often because you're going to be playing against tougher competition. Hang on, I gotta think about this. I was thinking if I wanted a 3-bet the sixes here. The conclusion I came to was no. But not only that, but you want to play with something that you feel comfortable. Like if you lose a tournament, you're not going to feel bummed out about it. And obviously, if you're starting out at the micro stakes for 99% of people out there, it's just not going to be an issue. When he's betting a third pot here, I think we need to call with our pocket pair. But for some people, you might be able to lose, you know, a $10 tournament and be pretty comfortable with it. And not have it affect you emotionally, right? You want to make sure it's not affecting you. Swings in the money are not affecting you emotionally in any way. And that's what one part of bankroll management, right? The other part is that you make sure you don't go broke. And that's a very important aspect as well. Just gonna check back this flop. I mean, it's super dry. We don't need a lot of protection. I actually check back like a lot of my other pairs here on this board as well. So occasionally having an ace in it is pretty good. I could actually consider betting just because like in other spots, like let's say I'm opening 3 or 4 handed and I'm in the cutoff and I open, I just never have a 2. But when I am on the button, I do have a bunch of 2s, which is actually going to allow me to be able to c-bet more aggressively because he can't just check raise like crazy. So maybe we should have considered betting the flop there, but either way, it's okay. But my recommendation for everybody is to actually just start out playing cash games. Develop some good habits for deep stack play, and you know, some good habits for hand reading, and you know, all kind of the fundamentals there. And then when you move over to MTTs, you're going to be a much stronger player than probably the average person at your stake, as long as you're a winning player coming from, you know, in the cash games. And then your next focus is going to be working on your short stack game and ICM type stuff and things like that. So you asked me a question and I gave you just a 20-minute answer that hopefully answered it somewhere in there, man. Got this plain solved. Thanks, guys. We're doing our best here. One of my rare pure bluff check raises, but I just can't let him get away with like consistently. Yeah, we'll go to 20. I can't just let him get away with like limping and then betting every time I check to him, which has been kind of his strategy. This is a board. One that's nice thing about this board is there's not a lot of draws that he can have or that I can have. So when I'm check raising here, I actually look like I'm either check raising something of value or just really getting crazy. So I might get a little more credit for that. But also I think he can have just a wide range and be doing, you know, with all kinds of bare hands that we can just get to fold right now. Once he calls, though, we're done, obviously. So we can go for that block bet thing again. And the goal would be to get like any of his aces to fold and some of his 3x. But we also saw earlier when I checked and missed a bluff that he had an ace. And I think he can have a lot of ace highs here and some 3s that aren't folding anyways. So I'm fine with just giving up. But we could consider doing the block bet is kind of the point. What a flop. Nice 3-bet. Where did I 3-bet? With the 6s? I think you're talking about something because I didn't 3-bet those. Pretty dynamic board texture. I think we're going to want to up our sizing here. Check raise again. Not blocking top pair is kind of nice for us, or any of the over pairs. I think a big bet, especially when we're out of position here, is going to be our best option. I was thinking about whether we wanted to overbet or like anything between like 60% pot to an overbet. Settled on the old pot size. I mean, you got to understand, like, our hand is also very, very, very vulnerable there on that board. So that's another reason for trying to get the money in while we think we're ahead of the range. Matt Doog, 10 with the follow. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, no problem, man. I really hope I helped. I kind of felt like I rambled there for a bit, but hopefully there were some good tidbits in there for you, man. Another one I could consider check raising, but I've kind of been on a check raise rampage recently. Okay. We'll check raise this one for sure. And barrel a lot of turns. I'm going to up the sizing a little bit just because it seems like he's just really prone to floating for that 20,000. So we're just going to up it slightly and make sure we're just including all our value bets at the same sizing as well. Eriog1 with the follow, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm sure I butchered your name, but thank you for the follow. Gonna just check call here. Gonna go for a check raise now. Unless he bets like full pot. Reason I'm check raising is we want to play for stacks, right? The only way to do that when we're out of position here is to check raise and try to build the size of the pot. Hey, Crack Roaches, thank you, man. I appreciate that. He folds, no. I think he's gonna have some king X's there that can find a call and some other maybe some hero calls, some smaller flushes perhaps. I think our hand is just too strong not to try to go for the overbet there to get it all in. I don't think he's going to be putting the money in for us. Matt Doog says, take it down. You got it, buddy. We're trying. We're out here fighting. I'm just trying to get the showdown here. All right, now I guess I'll bet small. Rizzy? Is it Rizzy or Rizzy? Rizzy with the follow? Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Hey, thank you for that update, CPask. I appreciate that, man. Not gonna call jam here with the king 9 offsuit. Pocket twos. Probably the best line with the twos when we're at his effective stack size. I'm gonna probably start limping hands like this and not give him a cheap jam. I mean, not give him a better price to jam. Like if I min raise it, I think he's getting a more incentive to shove. We can try limping and, you know, seeing some flops with some of these reasonable hands. We'll just have to make sure to include a couple. If he starts like raising over it, we can include some stronger stuff. And do his line. Min bet the flop. He's going to do my line. 3-bet check raise of 20K. Man, how many times I get 8-4 suited? Hillgast. Hopefully I'm saying that right. We'll call the jam here. The winner gets, if I win, I get, we'll see because I'm about to win this right here. Oh, shouldn't have said anything. I got too cocky. So if I win, I get $656 plus this $200 that I have on me plus this $80. And then I've already won $300 in bounties on top of that. So, yeah, I'll end up making like $1,200 somewhere around there. With the gut shot here. We're going for that check raise. Doc Palmas with the cheers, man. Thank you. I appreciate that, buddy. They're adding up, man. Why can't we just get a jack or a heart to barrel? Elia Roxas Veshi. If I'm saying that right. Thank you for the follow, man. I appreciate that. Gonna fold this. Man, got too cocky there. Got too cocky. What's a Razzie? I think you know the answer. All right, let's check out all the tables here. Well, we were going for a check raise on this turn. We'll just check call the river. Here, we were just under 10 big blinds and jammed out of that one. 40th place. And this guy opened with 3-bet, and we're definitely calling at our stack sizes. We'll call a jam here. Was it not better to open shove king 9 off for 15 big blinds? I think open shoving would certainly be a reasonable option. This guy just hadn't really been 3-betting super aggressively. So I don't think I don't really think we need to. But against some players, like if I know his strategy is to just 3-bet really aggressively, then yeah, we're definitely going to want to jam that. We'll just call here and then jam the river. Come on. Why? What a crappy river. were so close there. Zemo Carr with a follow. Thank you, man. And also Andrew Hardy 97 with a follow as well. Thank you, guys. Said those out of order. I really want to win this thing. We'll fold to a jam here. If he does jam. He does jam. Hey, we got a good hand to go for some check calls. Get the showdown. I have a very the poker whisperer. I like that. Thank you, Vanessa Kid. I appreciate that. Caesar Milan. I used to watch that show, actually. I used to enjoy that show. Miyoto, hopefully I'm saying that right. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate that. And Dad vs. Life with the follow as well. Thank you, guys. Dinaz is so lucky. I mean, you guys got to keep in mind that I ran. Well, he did. He got the hot run first, and then I got a hot run, and then he got it back. I mean, we both had some pretty lucky spots to get here. I think all in general, we got to give him some credit. He's been playing pretty well, but yeah, I do think he is. I do think he's getting pretty lucky in some spots, but me too. We're check raising here for protection, for value. With a pair. Probably just check call. Give his floats a chance to bluff for us. What do we want to do here? Do we want to... I don't know if he's actually turning his pairs into bluffs here. Like, I don't know if he's turning any of his 4x or 6x into a bluff. So I don't know if I want to block bet with this. But then, I mean, I just don't think he's coming up with enough bluffs here when we get to this river. Aha! Long final table. Thanks, Miss Kid. Yeah, we're doing our best. We gotta climb an uphill battle once again, but one double up and we'll be right back in it. Running like poop. Yeah. Tilt proof. I mean, I do tilt. It takes kind of a long chain of events for it to happen, but I've been playing poker a really long time. I think I've gotten pretty good at like kind of managing my emotions and things like that at the table. Just gonna not do anything here. All right, Jocks the Berserker, thank you for hanging out. You got to take off. We'll see you next time, man. I really appreciate it. All right. We're just going to bet and then hope he can fold all the hands in his range that don't have a spade. I mean, we got 5 high with 0 showdown value. Might as well give it a shot. Shaw Carl, Fabadors, and Hellgast 555 with the follows, guys. Thank you very much. And more. They're just flowing in. They're flowing in like crazy. Vault Guy, Amphibola, Vickets, and Me Now. Maybe that's the right way to say it. Give me with Jack here. I'm just going to check back. Maybe we can do some bluffs. We also don't value on ourselves against a 10. All right. Once he checks with twice, though, we got to bet. Got to bet a little something, something. He folds. Also, guys, I forgot to tell you, we made the money up here in the Banner Builder 11. We got an okay stack. Should probably start jamming myself at some point. I guess this feels like a reasonable one to do it. Especially when he's jamming, he's starting to jam a little bit more over my limps. I don't know, maybe I want to still be limping. This continuation bets right, and he's pissing me off. Well, let's just think about like what we can do to exploit him. Like he's limping 73% hand, so he's actually folding pre-flop. Well, this isn't on the button actually. But he's limping a bunch and then he's betting when he gets checked to. I think that's... And it's been working for him, right? Because we've just been consistently over and over again at the bottom of our range. We've tried check raising him. I'm going to donk this board here. I don't want to check raise the... I don't want to check raise the bad gut shot here. But I do think we can donk and get some folds. You know, but we just got to think about what we can do to kind of try to exploit that or try to beat that strategy that he's doing. And I think our strategy is to try to check raise a lot. One, we should be 3-betting his limps probably a little bit more, or raising his limps a little bit more than we have been. You know, finding good times to check call or go for check call, check raises. We just got to be aggressive against him and not really let him get away with it as much. It's really hard for me to find a bunch of 3-bets pre-flop when this is the kind of stuff that we're seeing over and over. 7-6 suited, I think I would be a fine jam. I would be totally cool with it. Going back to the limping, I think my 8-6 suited jam was bit of a mistake. I don't think we need to do it against him yet. We got lucky that he didn't call and crush us. I go to bed and there's 415 viewers. Did Lex host? No, we got a Vanessa Cade host and a Scrimitsu host. And we also got a big her Egyptian host as well, very early in the stream. Am I right? I'm pretty sure, yeah. I wish I could play for $167,000. Gonna donk again here. Shut her down. 7, 8. I guess those are the ones we continue on. Plus we get folds sometimes. I guess I could fire on a 3 as well, a 2. We fold here. Spaz Kozhurov. Thank you for that follow, man. I appreciate that. And Shigs112 as well. Thank you for the follow. Let's see some all-in action. There's one for you. Here's another one. He's probably just going to open jam. Don't do it to me. Come on, don't do it to me like this. Back in the chip lead. Let's freaking go. This is the emotional roller coaster of a lifetime. Winning the $700 knockout wasn't this crazy. Thanks, C-Pass. We'll check raise here. Could donk as well. He checks back, you son of a bee. Just trying to check call at some point now. He's changing his strategy. Check fold. I'm not going to bluff this. I don't think we win at showdown hardly ever, but I'm also just not going to bluff. This is a pretty good board for us, unless he has like Jack 10 or I guess maybe he doesn't jam King Jack and stuff, but he did jam King 4 earlier. King 4 suited. So I would tend to think that a lot of his stronger kings are going to get put in the jam range as well. All right, we're raising this for value here. Ooh. Night Dark. Thanks a lot, man. I do live in Japan. I wasn't able to watch his charity stream. I mean, for me, I do try to watch a little more streams recently, and I've caught a couple of his streams. I've hosted him a couple times and been able to watch a little bit of his streams when I did that, but I would say 95% of the time I spend on my computer, I'm streaming myself, so it's pretty hard to watch other streamers for me currently. Hey Mel, how you doing? Good luck. I hope you win. I hope I win too. We're trying. We're trying our best. And thank you for that follow, Night Dark. If he limps, we're just going to jam here with the 8-7. Not going to call a jam with the King-6. Alright, I'm donking. He's been checking back the flops a lot more, so let's bet for some value and protection. Seems like I think I'm even more excited than you. I'm freaking out, guys. I'm shaking. It's actually, I can feel like the adrenaline pumping a little bit here. There's definitely some nerves going on. I really want to win this. I want to win this for the stream. I want to do that $25 giveaway that I said I would do if I win this. So it's a lot of pressure. Shoved one too many. I got this. I think I do got this. We'll see. We still need a little bit of luck, but I think we're playing pretty well. I think we made some good adjustments against him over the long run. That I feel like I'm pretty comfortable against him right now. That's a pair. I think he very, very, very rarely has an ace here. And I also think that maybe we can induce something by betting because our range looks kind of weak. Maybe not. Could just jam. Could min raise and call. I'm gonna go min raise and call. We'll have to call shove here, I think. We got it. We got him. So we won our. So this is just the bounties. So we got that. So we got this bounty. We got our own bounty, and then we got the $650 prize pool. Let's freaking go. I knew I could do it, guys. We're gonna do a $25 gift card giveaway at the end of the stream here. Steve Laz 69 with the fall as well. Thank you, man. That's a pretty big bounty. Our stack size is pretty short. Let's go bounty hunting. Do we have him covered? We don't even have him covered. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I'm exhausted. My brain just shut down after that. I get so lucky. I get so lucky. Oh. I think my brain just literally turned off after trying to focus so hard on that other final table that I didn't even realize that we didn't have him covered. Schwoops. I mean, it's still not a terrible... It's still not really bad. Here, with a bounty, and I think this guy's probably raising pretty wide to get it. With a pocket pair here, we're just going to shove to isolate the bounty. Our stack size is reasonable for that kind of a line with our hand. I'm going to try... What did he call with? Jack 8? Okay, well. Didn't see that coming. So we got 147th place in that one.